The Dewan Rakyat has approved Budget 2022 at the policy stage. According to Bernama, Budget 2022, the first tabled by Prime Minister Datuk Seri Yaakoob's administration, was passed with a majority voice vote. Attempts by several MPs to initiate block voting failed when those who stood up were fewer than the required 15. Budget 2022 was tabled by Finance Minister Tunku Datuk Seri Zafrul Abdul Aziz on October 29th with the highest allocation ever of 332.1 billion, designed to guide Malaysia into post-pandemic recovery. However, chaos erupted in Parliament when Zafrul confirmed that Putrajaya had received an application from former Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Razak for a plot of land and a house said to be worth 100 million ringgit. Opposition MPs, including former Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, harshly criticised the move, with Mahathir calling Najib a convict. Zafrul said that the application was not included in the budget as it was made after the tabling. He adds that any additional questions should be forwarded to the Prime Minister's department. As the discussion descended into a shouting match, Dewan Rakyat Speaker Tan Sri Azhar Azizan Harun interceded and said the matter was unrelated to Budget 2022. According to the Dewan Rakyat calendar, Budget 2022 will be debated at the committee stage for 13 days starting on Monday. Sime Darby Plantation saw its third quarter net profit more than triple to 635 million from 90 million a year earlier. This was driven by the stronger performance of its upstream segment, which compensated for a decline in profit contributed by the downstream operations, which was affected by labour shortages. However, CPO prices, which rose to record highs above 5,000 ringgit per tonne in 2021, mitigated the impact. Revenue for the quarter rose by 59% to 5.06 billion. No dividend was declared for the quarter. Looking ahead, the group is expecting CPO prices to remain elevated at least until year-end before a possible downward adjustment in the second quarter of 2022 when supplies are anticipated to improve. Sime Darby Plantations is looking to ramp up its efforts in mechanization and innovation to increase productivity in order to overcome the labour issue. The group is also looking to actively encourage more locals to join its operations. Overall demand is expected to remain strong as more countries ease their COVID-19 restrictions, bringing back earlier suppressed demand. Barring any unforeseen circumstances, the company is expecting an overall strong performance for FY21. Tenaga Nasional plans to invest 22 billion from 2022 to 2024 under the incentive-based regulation framework to continuously develop the grid of the future into a key enabler of the energy transition, Bernama reports. In support of the country's goal to shift from fossil fuels to 31% renewable energy by 2025, the grid must be ready to receive RE to support dynamic two-way energy flows while maintaining voltage stability. Deputy Energy and Natural Resources Minister Dato' Ali Biju says that fair returns to TNB to sustain the capital expenditure required is important. He says this will be done by connecting the entire value chain from generation and distribution to customers' premises. TNB Chief Regulatory and Stakeholder Management Officer Datuk Wira Roslan Abdul Rahman says that the national power provider remains committed to undertaking investments to address climate change while doing what is necessary to stimulate and reshape the country's economic recovery. K&M Group says it has missed principal and coupon payments on bonds issued in Thailand worth 2.78 billion Thai baht, which matured on November 18th. The oil and gas group blames this on the challenges arising from COVID-19 and unfavorable operating conditions of its subsidiary Impress Ethanol Co., which operates an ethanol plant in Thailand. In a boss filing, K&M says it is in an advanced stage of discussions with several financial institutions to secure new financing for the repayments of the bonds. However, it said final approval decisions for these new financing facilities are not expected to be made until after the maturity date of the bonds. K&M says it has a grace period until December 2nd to pay the principal sum and until December 9th to pay the coupon before an event of default occurs. The bonds are guaranteed by Credit Guarantee and Investment Facility, a trust fund managed by the Asian Development Bank. The group says the non-payment may have an adverse impact on the financing facilities of K&M and its subsidiaries days in the event that the respective financial institutions suspend their financing facilities granted to K&M pending the resolution of the non-payment event. Nevertheless, K&M says it shall endeavour to continue its other remaining business operations, notwithstanding the non-payment event, and will engage with the lenders and suppliers for their continuing support. K&M says it has appointed consultants to monetize its investments, including disposal of assets or shares in IECL. MISC's net profit for the third quarter jumped 55% year-on-year to 401 million as top line improved. Revenue for the quarter rose to 2.69 billion from 2.06 billion ringgit. MISC also declared a dividend of 7 cents per share in respect of FY21, amounting to 312.5 million ringgit. MISC says spot charter rates remain relatively steady in the third quarter despite a surge in European gas demand due to lower wind and solar power generation. However, it said LNG shipping rates are expected to strengthen towards year-end on account of high winter season demand in Europe and Asia. On its prospects, MISC says the global offshore exploration and production space had shown its resilience and ability to execute projects despite COVID-19 restrictions hampering progress. MISC President and CEO Datuk Yi Yang Qian says the results highlight the full value of portfolios as revenues continue to strengthen. He says as the world moves deeper into post-pandemic economic recovery, MISC is positioned well to execute its long-term strategy for profitable growth as it advances towards its goals for a decarbonised future.